5 seconds remaining.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Steelseries Malaysia Cup number 8. This is going to be game 2 of the best of 3 between Team Malaysia and Genysis. Currently, Team Malaysia 1-0 up in the series after a very convincing game. Genysis have to pull themselves together and 180 themselves because that game was disgusting.
Yeah, I don't think there's a better way to put it. But I have faith in Genysis. Twitch chat does not, but I have faith in Genysis. I think they can do a good job here. Honestly, I think after the first, like, just being crushed so hardly and so hard, and they can still play the game, I think that's quite impressive. So I'm gonna give them a round of applause, at least in my own room, and I hope that they do well this game and they can get themselves together. I have faith in them. I want to have faith.
You know, they're going to pick up some extremely powerful heroes. Ember Spirit rather early, Ogre Magi as the first pick. This is going to let Team Malaysia, who actually forgot to set their flag, shame on them, allow for some counter pick versus the Ember Spirit, and counter picking the Ember Spirit is actually pretty easy. You say magic damage isn't as good, disable is a lot better, so you play in such a fashion, you pick in such a fashion, and usually you're going to be fine. Genysis also starting their picks off with another 2 melee heroes, which was problematic in the last game, and well, hopefully this game they're not going to have another 4 melees, because their lanes could have definitely been a lot better if they had any sort of presence in those.
Yeah, it's gonna be an Invoker this time, though, for Team Malaysia. Oh wow, there's nothing at all. Like, they don't even have a name. So, which is, I mean, maybe they can run it a little better, which is kind of scary. The guys, when they were Titan back then, they were really good at playing Invoker. It's, again, really popular in the CA scene. But at least Genysis, this time the melee is Ember Spirit, which is not like traditionally a melee necessarily. Like you said, he's very mobile and whatnot, and he also goes mid, so hopefully they don't pick a second melee support and they should be alright. At least that's what I'm praying on. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe just no Omni Knight from Genysis. I think they'll be fine. Like, Omni Knight's actually really good against Invoker and Vengeful Spirit. Or, yeah, I mean, he's pretty good, let's say, against those two heroes, but not with the Ogre Magi as the other support. If they're going to pick up an Omni Knight, you got to lane him as a different role if you're going to be Genysis in this game. But either way, I don't really know if that is on the table at all. It's going to be Tide and Mirana to take the ban out. I like the Mirana ban right now. It would have been very easy to set up for those arrows, and it's always an X factor in the early game, whereas Genysis, they're going to take out the Drow Ranger. I've seen the Invoker Drow Ranger once, and it was a Wex Invoker, and it was pretty sweet, but yeah, it's not going to be an option right now.
Yeah, which is I don't know if it's good or bad actually necessarily. Perhaps I mean, it wasn't that great of an ability when they got a centaur back then. So now they're gonna go for another support, hopefully Genysis, and that's kind of what I'm wondering as what the second support will be. Skyreth Mage, perhaps. Rubik. What do you want exactly? Because the Omni is obviously off the table.
I was going to say I'm always down for a Skyreth Mage. I was actually going to say that, I promise. But Skyreth Mage is one of the safest support heroes you could pick up. I think him and Vengeful Spirit, like, those heroes are never going to be bad support heroes, at least in this current iteration of Dota. They have a lot of damage, they have a lot of a decent amount of utility, and, well, what more could you ask from a support? Faceless Void now the pick, so Ohio probably going to pick this hero for himself. They have not as much damage put into the Chronosphere, but it's not too late to pick up a Witch Doctor.
Yeah, like last time the Witch Doctor worked really well for them, but I don't think they need necessarily. The thing in Genysis is a much better draft against the Void. The Elder Titan is really good, especially if you get Aghanim's with that disarm. The Skyreth Mage can do really well against the Void as well, so I see like they have more chances in this case. I would run this off with a Morphling. I think a Morphling against the Void is really strong, and synergizes pretty well with the lineup as well, and also pretty tanky, which is something you want.
And for Genysis, the Elder Titan pick usually is played as support nowadays, but this time it's going to be a core. It's going to let them do so much more damage, and just with Ogre Magi, Skyreth Mage, they're able to be more aggressive. And you know, after getting stomped really hard in game 1, you generally want to change things up. It's very easy to go full-on aggressive, just, you know, go for kills, go non-stop. There are at least drafts for that plan, and it will be okay for Genysis, though Elder Titan and Ember Spirits can't really contribute the most whenever they get a gank into their lane. Ogre Magi and Skyreth Mage are so powerful that they will be able to make something happen. Witch Doctor now the pick up from Team Malaysia, much like last game. More damage put into that Chronosphere, and they're looking for one more core hero right now. It's going to be Razor to be banned out, but I don't know, they could pick up pretty much whatever they want, Team Malaysia, and I think they will still have an edge in this game, though damage output from Genysis is going to be a concern for them.
I think in this case, though, the draft for Genysis is much safer. I like it much better than last game, that's for sure. Still the 3 melee heroes, but hopefully they pick up something like a Morphling as last hero. Again, they can toss on the pool if they want to. And I liked it much better before. I thought, no, goddamn it. Never mind. Take it all away. They go for the PA again. I don't like this anymore.
So as far as Team Malaysia's ability to punish melee heroes, they don't have it as much, I don't believe, but it's still a hell of a lot. Vengeful Spirit can't really punish melee heroes that much, but Witch Doctor, Void, and Invoker, man, do they love going up against melee heroes. And Genysis, once again, have 4 of them. This is going to inherently weaken their lanes, this time because they have the ability to go more aggressive with more aggressive support. The fact that they have so many melee heroes is going to be less relevant in the early game stages, but it's still going to be relevant some. And Doom is actually the pickup from the Team Malaysia side. Really good against Ember Spirit, and as far as cores with disables that are fast to come out, Doom is one of the best, I think. So I think it's mostly in response to that Ember Spirit pick that they are currently lacking answers, or they were lacking answers for.
Honestly, again, I see the guys at Team Malaysia just having a much superior draft. In addition to the fact that these guys are really comfortable with the heroes they're playing. I want to say KYXY might be playing on the Invoker, hopefully. And obviously Ohio and the Doom, he likes the Doom a lot. So I don't know, these guys just like they really like the heroes they're playing, whereas Genysis, I don't really know them, but they're having not only a weaker draft, perhaps they're going up against a team which is really comfortable with their draft, and it's just really scary for them. I don't know why they keep picking this kind of draft, which is sort of flimsy, I would say.
Yeah, they needed like the Vipers and Razors of the game, like heroes that could very rarely lose their lane, because Ember Spirit, you can shut him down and just in lane, and if you do that, he's probably not going to have the best of times. Phantom Assassin's a little bit more difficult to do so. Ogre and Scarith Mage the same way, but we'll see. Team Malaysia, they are just going to load out into their lanes as per normal. It's going to be a defensive tri-lane for them. ET is going to be supporting as the Venge KKK, assuming KYXY on the Faceless Void. We got Baymax once again on the Witch Doctor. Over towards mid, it's going to be the Invoker. And then top lane, it's going to be Ohio on the Doom.
As for Team Genysis, we are going to have AAA as Scarith Mage support. Joining him will be the second support, which will be Vexus on the Ogre Magi, and the carry in this lane will be Nana on the Ember Spirit. Mid, we're going to have 3-4-3 with the PA, and wow, interesting. And finally, the offlane Andy is going to be playing that Elder Titan. Before we start, by the way, I just want to point out this really cool effigy from the Team Malaysia guys.
Oh man, Watch Me Dunk is also pretty good.
Where's that one? Oh.
It's the Oracle is apparently dunking.
That's actually really cool.
That is sweet. Alright, but still not the best effigies I've seen. That probably belongs to BBC so far.
Oh, I haven't seen their effigies yet. I need to check
you're gonna have to wait and see. It's pretty hilarious. But anyway, it is going to be a defensive tri-lane from Genysis, going to be protecting that Ember Spirit's farm, and I like this decision. You have a pretty good read on Team Malaysia. You know that the Invoker is going to be going mid most of the time. Invoker versus Phantom Assassin is certainly not as bad for Phantom Assassin as a Death Prophet Phantom Assassin, which would have been the matchup last game. So PA with a Stifling Dagger is always guaranteed to get a little bit of something in this lane, but she will be able to handle this lane pretty decently. As far as killing Invoker, probably not going to happen, but she doesn't need to be killing the Invoker to do well in the lane.
Yeah, that's actually very true. The Phantom Assassin went for Blur level 1 though. Interesting pickup. I guess he's not afraid of the Invoker early on, just wants to prevent some harass. Okay. I like it. I like it though. I think in this case the lanes kind of favor them a little bit more than last time, that's for sure. They'll get a little more comfortable with them. So there's that. The Elder Titan also is not the worst in the offlane. I guess. He can do decently with that Spirit, get a little bit of farm and whatnot, get some EXP, and is tanky enough to take up some hits.
Yeah, he'll be getting some experience down the bottom lane. Will be zoned out a lot by Baymax, and really there's no way to avoid that unless you get into a fist fight with Baymax. That's a way to avoid it. 0 base armor, Witch Doctor, 2 hits down to half HP. That's pretty good if you ask me. They're going to get a little more help. ET is going to rotate in, and it looks like Ohio has completely left the top lane. And that's the power of these two supports. There is no way that in the last game Genysis could have done this to the enemy offlaner, mostly because Void has a survivability tool, Doom does not. but also Ogre Magi and Scarth Mage are really dangerous from level 1, especially Boots first Ogre with Ignite level 1. He's going to circle around with the Scarth Mage and look for First Blood on this Doom. And Ember Spirit, he does have chains, so just a small amount of disable might be enough to actually lock this Doom down enough. He has hit level 2 though, so he has Scorched Earth, a little bit of extra regen there, but there's a lot of magic damage going his way, plus 0 base armor. He's going to try to hide in the trees, but he cannot stay in the trees. AAA is going to draw First Blood onto Ohio.
That's a really good start for the Genysis team. They're doing better than last time already.
Yeah, it only took them like 1/10 of the time to get the first kill.
They should really boost their morale though. This is good because I think that's another thing that they should be lacking coming into the first game, not because they played that badly, just because they got crushed so horribly. And now they're gonna actually go on Andy. Revenge kill, and ET has that magic missile been used already. Andy is stunned. Can he run away? He's trying, and he's actually gonna make it out alive. Wow, impressive. 3 health left. It's weird they didn't chase him at all.
Man, 2 HP. If the Vengeful Spirit and Void were a little bit luckier with their attack damage, just a little bit luckier, that could have been a kill. But sometimes the game just screws you over. Andy is going to be limping away. There is a Sunstrike on Invoker. Sunstrike? That's too late. I'm disappointed. You got to go for those.
Yeah, I completely agree. He should have been sniped. I want to put this on headshots and whatnot. Give us clips for the HeflaTV YouTube.
He has to land like 3 or 4 consecutively, like 100% accuracy to do that, and then you can just mash them all together and Sunstrike, montage, 360 no scope, Mountain Dew, Doritos, kind of, you know how it is.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the Lad Bible videos? Just do that with Sunstrikes. Oh.
I have not.
You need to. You do need to. That's probably one of the best sites ever. Anyway, going back to the game. Sorry for promoting random weird websites. Let's look at the Void, who's actually farming quite well. He's actually matching the PA though, which is kind of scary because the PA is going to be doing much better in farm than the last game. So this could actually mean that the PA could have a much higher impact. And last game we already see him being pretty strong without much, items. So imagine now.
Yeah,
I'm kind of scared.
For Genysis, they're actually getting 2 heroes with farm, whereas last game they really only had 1. The Centaur was completely crushed in the top lane. The mid lane was also completely crushed by Team Malaysia. So 2 heroes is always better than 1. And Ohio is going to voluntarily put himself in between a bunch of heroes just trying to get experience. TP is going to come in from the Witch Doctor. And with the Scorched Earth, Doom might survive. In fact, turn things around onto Nana, the heal from now from Baymax. Going to keep the Doom alive. And Nana is going to be dropping with 1 more hit. There it is. Sunstrike is actually going to take the kill. So I guess I do get my wish. But their tower is still hurting quite badly. This catapult will kill it off, or kill it off one way or another, and that's going to be a tower deny. Here comes Vexus again. He's going to try to go for Baymax, killing off this Witch Doctor. Probably not going to happen. Tower denied in favor of the Team Malaysia side, but also bottom lane. Andy is once again on the run. He's once again going to live, this time at double digits of HP. KKK really wants this kill, but he's not going to get it. Man, Elder Titan is one lucky hero. That's going to be a 2-for-1 now in favor of Genysis, and maybe even a little bit more. Actually, Invoker kills off PA first, surprising her with Cold Snap. Getting into a man fight there, so evening up this kill score. But overall, I think Team Malaysia still in the lead, albeit very, very slightly.
Very, very slight. I mean, in the gold graph, it's actually going for Team Malaysia, but just by 250. XP graph is 1,000. So another thing I want to mention though is the Ember Spirit. When he got hit by the Sunstrike, he had an available Flame Guard. I don't know why he didn't decide to use it. They actually would have saved his life, but
actually it's pure, so.
Oh, it's pure?
It wouldn't have, yeah. He was screwed anyway, but you still should use the skill. It's not like you're going to be wasting it or anything. Worst case scenario, it doesn't do any damage. Oh no.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. Oh wow, you learn something new every day. I could swear. Oh, okay. Well, it comes from not playing ever Quasi-Expert Invoker. Let's go on though. And Genysis is doing much better than last game, so I'm kind of happy. I had faith in them, and I think they've performed much better than last game already. 2 kills, but they're getting a little cocky with those with Ohio.
Yeah, the Doom, he has gotten enough levels with enough Scorched Earth to make it so that he is going to be deceptively tanky. He doesn't have the most armor right now, but I'm sure that will be a priority down the line. He's going for Hand of Midas, and that's fine for a Doom. It is a more or less standard build, and he's almost at that level 6 mark. As far as killing off heroes with the usage of said Doom, there's no one that they really need the Doom in order to kill. Phantom Assassins and Ember Spirit are going to be a little bit easier to take, but it's not like it's a complete necessity. They have actually 2 Midases in the works, or 2 Midases that are going to be picked up. There's one on the Void now, so that might actually be 3 with the Invoker and the Doom all getting theirs. So it's definitely going to be a different game than last time. It's not going to be a 20-minute game. It's going to extend for a little while longer, but Genysis, their Midas count currently at 0, and it looks like it's going to stay that way.
I think the issue as well is that if it extends, you have the Void on one team, and the Void team always has the advantage in the late game, just because they're able to do Chrono. Actually, they're on 3 for 3 now. They're going to stun him double time. Maledict as well. Can 3 for 3 die? Yeah, he will. Can he die? Yes. That was actually quite an easy kill with a Maledict. Interesting build though. He went for 1 level of Maledict to be able to have that early aggression as well.
Level 1 Maledict is always kind of a disappointing skill, but if you get that much damage onto the target, you're going to be killing them with the Maledict, even if they do somehow Phantom Strike away or something like that. So maybe it's just going to be 1 value point of Voodoo Restoration for the Witch Doctor. Has already been relevant saving the Doom once, so a skill point for a hero life might be worth it in the long run, might not be, who knows. But either way, it's going to still be Witch Doctor packing a level 5 hero right now, and the Aghanim Scepter is not going to come out as fast, unfortunately, but Death Ward is going to be more or less on par with last game. And a fast Death Ward, though we didn't really see the impacts of an early Death Ward last game, it still can do a hell of a lot of work.
Yeah, because I think the I think the issue here is that the Witch Doctor gets the Death Ward and whatnot, but he does not go around ganking with the Void because the Void is just kind of farming happily. So that's, you know, he needs the Void to set him up most of the time. So I think that's the issue here. Like, the Void should be a little bit more active than last time. Even though he's a carry, like I don't think that would deter from him. And that's possibly, if they can do that, then they can possibly take control of the game coming towards the mid game.
Yeah, that's the approach that they have to take if they actually want to be aggressive and looking for kills. It is possible that Team Malaysia, because they have gone for what looks like 3 Midases, they're okay with just chilling, and you know, they're not going to be looking for those kills. Of course, that is wasting your cooldowns. You never want to be wasting cooldowns like that, but you know, you could do that occasionally and be fine if you're going to have such an overwhelming late game advantage. And Team Malaysia, yeah, they're just perfectly fine with playing this super passively, and I think this is maybe not the best way to play, but certainly a justifiable way to play, especially in this game. So come late game, Genysis, they are not going to win. So it's up to Genysis to make a play very soon, and it looks like that play is going to happen up towards the top, where they're going to throw a whole barrage of spells up towards Doom, and it does literally no damage. Here comes the Faceless Void, has a Chronosphere, really doesn't want to use it on just Vexus. Thinking about it, will decide to launch that skill. Sunstrike going to follow up as well, and a couple of stuns and shockwaves from the outsets. Vexus is very tanky, but he will be going down.
That's a really nice setup for the Sunstrike, by the way. I never thought of it, but like the Chrono, yeah. I guess there's that combination as well. And the Scarlet Mage needs to be more present whenever there's a Void, I think. Oh, actually, no, never mind. He's only level 4. Take that back. Usually, you need the Sunstrike, you need the Scarlet Mage to get level 6 so you can use that Mystic Flare to deter the Void from moving. Like, you need that idea of, yeah, if I attack this target, I'm going to lose half my health. And that's why Scarlet Mage is so powerful against him. Yeah,
and just silencing him, it does take a little bit of time to actually get that Chronosphere out. It takes quite a long time to actually cast it, so you have a lot of time to seal him up, and if you see him coming, if you see him time walking away, you issue the command from far away, you're going to be guaranteed that silence. And then if Void is in the middle of a whole bunch of enemy heroes with a very low health pool, not good times for the Void, plus taking amplified magic damage, which isn't fun versus an Ogre Magi. It's going to be a push attempt slightly towards mid. Ohio's going to take a dagger to the face that will crit. Of course it always crits. But it will be Genysis for now pushed back. ET might be in a little trouble. They're just jockeying for position right now, both teams, and it looks like the mid lane will be defended, or at least Genysis will back off. And yeah, that should just about be it. But Genysis, because they're up against 2 hands of Midas right now, or is it 3? It is 3 at this point. So they're up against 3 Midases. They have to end the game pretty quickly or take a decisive lead very quickly. And so far, they are doing neither.
I guess you could also consider 2 dull minus on Doom because he has the Devour as well, so there's that to be considered. I mean, if this Doom wanted to go not Aura Doom, which is the traditional Doom, but just full-on carry Doom, I think he could have the ability to do so. So, I don't know. This in general, like you said, Genysis is just not doing anything because I think they're taking this game a little too calmly. They think, okay, we got the advantage, let's get some farm on the PA and whatnot. But the PA has surprisingly fallen off in terms of farming ability. Like, his goal per minute is actually not that high. He's only 313. He's below most people.
And that's not where you want to have a Phantom Assassin any time in the game. And this is a mid Phantom Assassin as well, so you'd expect her to be getting a lot of farm. But Power Tread's Poor Man's Shield, 11 minutes into the game. It's fine, but it's certainly not enough. Bottom lane, though, they're going to jump in on the Invoker, have an Elo Titan there with the Aura, instantly to the Ghost Walk. They have the Forge Spirits working away onto Nana, plus slowing him down. However, Invoker is roasting all the while. There's a Doom now onto Nana. That's going to secure his demise. Invoker's going to take that kill just for justice. And that, in the meantime, mid lane, ET is going to be dove. KKK is here. Has a Chronosphere, though he's going the wrong way if he wants to find someone. Is instead going to back off, and it looks like it's probably the safer decision. You never want to be getting into a fist fight with an Ogre Magi. Even if you do have a Chronosphere, it's a little bit too risky. Probably a little bit, you're going to take more damage than you're actually going to be dealing, so that's fine. But it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Still, Venge for an Ember Spirit. I'll take that trade any day of the week.
Yeah, that's definitely not a good trade for Genysis, but I mean, it was at least a trade. Like it was a good rotation by the PA and the Ogre Magi, better than nothing, to be honest. So there's that at least. And there was a forced rotation of the Doom to go. The Doom is constantly on the move, which is good because they're kind of taking away a little bit of his farming ability. But with Devour, doesn't really matter that much, to be honest.
And Doom really doesn't need that much to get going either. I think this game probably going for. You mentioned that Aura strategy. You can go for a carry, and I would love to see it, but it's a lot safer if you go for mass armor just because of the Ember Elo Titan. They're going to drop a rock on Nana up towards the top. Poor Ember Spirit. You'd think he'd be used to getting fired or fire on him, but that's not the case. It is going to be his death, and it's very easily done by the ganking squad of Invoker and Faceless Void, but we might see a return kill down towards bottom. Smoke up. It's going to be dispelled, so they know pretty much where the Doom is. Unfortunately, they aren't going to enter the lane fast enough, and Doom is going to calmly walk by. I don't even think he knows that he was in danger, but either way, he's going to be fine.
Actually, now I was thinking about the Doom. To be fair, the best Doom Brawl in this case would be a Blink Aghanim's Doom, just because you can silence the PA passive and whatnot. That's actually really important. Also make the Ember Spirit kind of useless in a fight, so I would probably go for that rather than Aura Doom in this case. But yeah, maybe they go for Shiva's Guard afterwards, something of the sort, but preferably start with that. Actually, they're going to go on Invoker down bottom here. Invoker is completely alone, but they just can't find him. He doesn't have Ghost Walk, at least not for now. And Vexus doesn't. Okay, there's the meatball coming out, but the Invoker is being destroyed by this PA, and there's nothing he could do.
I didn't know you could actually get stuck there. Like, it looks like there's a lot of room, but there's a fight happening in the meantime. There's a Death Ward being dropped. Scarth Mage gonna drop AMAX very, very low. Phantom Assassin still stuck here. Needs a Phantom Strike. Don't kill the creep. Phantom Striking out to ET. Gonna mean that she's going to be at least not stuck. However, in this fist fight, I don't think she's gonna win. Phantom Assassin will kill off the Witch Doctor with a random dagger. Now here comes Vectus multicasting onto the Vengeful Spirit. Another dagger chasing forward. 343 will pretty much be guaranteed this kill. Elo Titan's going to grab that one. Doom in the meantime has killed off the Ember Spirit with said skill. But it's still going to be a 1-for-3 trade in favor of Genysis. That Invoker really didn't expect to get caught there. It looks like you could leave that hole, but I guess those trees are a lot closer than it really seems. So getting stuck there, definitely not going to help you escape, especially since he just invoked away from the Ghost Walk.
Yeah, that's the only thing I don't really understand. Like, he saw the heroes coming in, and he just, in that moment, pretty much he invoked away from it, and I don't get why. I mean, especially because it's level 1 invoke, so obviously it's going to be quite a huge cooldown, so I think that might have been just a mistake by his part. Like, that was just weird, to be honest. They had no detection, if I'm not mistaken. At least not on them.
Yeah, they, at the time, didn't have any detection. They would have known where the Invoker was, but they couldn't have done anything about it. So I think that was just a small mistake from the Invoker. But, again, the fights from Team Malaysia, that one certainly was not the best. But they have 3 Hands of Midas working for them, and Genysis, they have to take those fights, except like 3 or 4 more times, and actually take something after it. If they took a tower on top of that fight, then they would be sitting pretty right now, since they'd have a lot of gold, extra gold on the Phantom Assassin, but tower still is going to stay standing, and it's actually at half HP, so it's decently healthy as well. Unfortunately, they just didn't have enough gas to take the tower afterwards, but it's still going to be them in trouble. They have 4 heroes up on the top lane for some reason. And Invoker is going to try to bait them in. KYXY. He is spotted out right now. His invis is going to run out, and now he's just dead. Sure.
That was just pathetic, to be honest. Like,
suddenly Faceless Void.
Yeah. Why? He randomly appears like, oh, damn.
It's like, where did that Faceless Void come from? Well, let's kill him anyway. So, generally, it's good to pretty much be staring at your invis rune cooldown or timer like all the time, because you don't want to run into those situations. I don't really know what the plan was there anyway. Are they really going to dive a tower like that? I guess they can with the Chronosphere, but they need to land up like the perfect Chronosphere Death Ward, and That's pretty risky, but they might get the initiation anyway. Swap back onto Andy with a cold snap. He is 100% screwed, and he's going to be chopped down by the Doom. Way to steal the kill, Ohio. They're going to go forward this time and try to put some pressure on the tower, something that Genysis failed to do last time that Team Malaysia are going to capitalize on. This tower on top lane is most likely going to go down.
I think it is very important because the fact that the guys in Malaysia, just because they have a quasi-expert invoker, they can capitalize on these kills, easily take towers, whereas Genysis has a harder time doing so. And more importantly, did Void just do a no-man chrono?
Yep.
Okay.
Went for the Ember Spirit, but chrono takes too long to come out, and Ember Spirit just jumped away. Easy.
Okay.
And now,
yeah.
343 going to get into a duel with the Invoker. There's a Force Staff and Cold Snap there. He's going to turn things around with the help of Doom. And 343 is now going to be dead as well. Might be denied best case scenario. Punch. No, he missed because of Blur. Blur is too good, guys. Ohio is going to get that kill, and ET and Baymax both here looking for a swap back. Ogre a little bit too fast. And it will be just one kill on the Phantom Assassin, although a very close one.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate that he missed that hit. And now they're gonna go on Andy. In fact, they might stun him. There's a dead Elder Titan, and also the Witch Doctor ultimate coming out. Baymax almost gonna die thanks to that Sky's Mage ultimate, but yeah, he will be finished off by the Ember Spirit. And now the Ember Spirit trying to hit ET, but ET is too quick with that Force Staff. Now they're gonna go on Nana. Can Nana die? They have no way to stop him. Oh no, Void is in a really bad position. He's actually gonna go down first, and Nana is just kind of doing a lot of damage. And this KR team fight not going well at all for Team Malaysia. They're gonna go on Ohio now. Ohio is the next one to go down if he's not really something about it. No, that Sleight of Fist finishing him off. Meanwhile, ET actually managed to kill off this Ogre Magi by dying himself as a result. And can KKK turn this around, get a couple kills at least on 343? 343 actually managing to get away, no problem. And there's no time walk, at least for 5 seconds. And he's not gonna actually go in. That's a pretty bad team fight for Team Malaysia, and Genysis almost taking the lead.
That's 3 for 1 plus a buyback in favor of Genysis. A huge team fight for them. Unfortunately, once again, because, well, this time Faces Void bought back, they are unable to take a tower, but forcing out that buyback is huge in and of itself. They end up losing a couple heroes in the beginning of that, but I think the Witch Doctor's decision to trade Death Ward channel for sitting in a Mystic Flare, probably not the best one to start things off. And KKK, though he is decently farmed, he has a Hand of Midas and he has the Mask of Madness. If he has that Mask of Madness popped in, if he gets silenced, he's just 100% screwed. There's nothing he could really do. He's not powerful enough to just power through it. He has to just like try to run away or get Force Staff, or else he will just die. It's going to be 343 over towards mid lane. He's going to be in a little bit of trouble now. ET trying to close in for a missile or something. Swap back into that missile. Nicely done. That is pretty smooth, and that's going to be 1 kill. Make it 2 down towards bottom lane. They're going to drop the chrono, kill off the Skywrath Mage. However, here comes the Ember. Wants to go for the Witch Doctor. Will snag that kill in a hurry. Now the Elder Titan looking for a stomp angle. Probably not going to find it unless there's another set of chains, and there will be on the Invoker. We'll get Force Staffed out. He has a Ghost Walk now available. He's going to turn around for a Meteor, which will land on absolutely jack all. Nana still right on top of said Invoker. Still going to be fine, though. Another Fire Blast going towards KK. Here comes Ohio, though. Try to go for Nana, but the damage is way too high from this Ember Spirit. Now the chains won't hit actually the Invoker, and it will be his teleportation out, but Ohio is taking so much damage from this Ember Spirit. This Ember is going so quick with the Bloodlust. Level 1 only, but it's enough to stick onto targets and have a lot of attack speed. Nana gets a double kill, wicked 6 streak on this Ember Spirit. And Genysis, they take another 2 for 1 trade in their favor. And this game is actually starting to be locked down by Genysis. This Ember Spirit needs to be doomed. Anyone else is just not good enough.
Yeah, it's insane, actually. It's Genysis now is taking the lead. They're taking the team fights. But I think the issue here is that they're taking the lead because Team Malaysia is making all these mistakes. Like, especially the Void seems to be always in a weird position. He seems to fight when he's not supposed to be fighting. Especially, like, hitting the Ember Spirit with a Mask of Madness when the Ember Spirit has his, Flame Guard on, which is level 4. So he's almost dying himself. I don't know, it's just... I think Team Malaysia should really... They need to up their game. I think they got a little cocky from the first game, maybe. And now they're kind of committing far too many mistakes.
Yeah, they still have Hand of Midas, so their ability to make mistakes is a little bit more lenient. But still, these are just crucial errors that they're making. And trying to mess with the Ember Spirit, as he said, not good times. The Doom on the PA, I mean, that's certainly very nice. But if you're going to be in these fights at this point, they should know that Doom has to go on the Ember Spirit, or Invoker just needs more levels of Invoke, because he's not getting that many skills off in these fights. He's very farmed. I mean, he has almost maxed out in Exort at this point, has his double Forge Spirit, so he's doing quite a bit of damage when he actually has spells to cast, but the time when he actually has spells up is relatively low. So maybe just getting that invoked now. He is level 2 now. It was level 1 previously. They are going to be sitting a little bit better in this game. Doom is going to think about going for the bottom lane Ember. A Blink Doom might be enough to run down the Ember Spirit. It will be very close, and it looks like Ohio's not even going to get that chance. Up towards top lane, the rest of Team Malaysia, they're going to be pushing up that lane, and they're going to be pushing in mid as well. And Nana actually gets baited in by Ohio, then gets doomed. I have no idea what the Ember Spirit's plan there was. Sunstrike to kill off the Ember. That's a wicked 6 streak down. Yeah, I don't know why the Ember was there, but he shouldn't have been there. And over towards mid, Invoker now going to get jumped by 343. Haste Rune is going to keep the Phantom Assassin safe to do such things, but just Ember Spirit randomly dying, not good for Genysis.
That's the kind of stuff, like, now that Team Malaysia, like, Genysis got a couple kills, now they got a little cocky, now they're committing these mistakes as well. And that's an issue with winning team fights when the enemy team is committing mistakes, which is the fact that since you're not capitalizing on them, you're not actually getting a huge advantage, because the only reason why you're winning them is because the enemy team is not doing as well as they should be. So that's never a good position to be in, because you rely mainly on them messing up. And here, the Doom not mess up, use the Doom immediately, and didn't die. So, I don't know, Genysis needs to be aware of this fact if they want to capitalize on this. And the PA only has a Battle Fury, by the way. He has not been farming as well as I thought.
Well, she recovered a lot better than when we last looked at her, when she just had nothing. So
yes.
Battle Fury and Phantom Assassin is a pretty good item, and I don't see why she would need to go for anything else in this game. BKB, though, would be nice. There are way too many things on Team Malaysia that go through that BKB, so probably not the item that you want to be buying. They're going to lay a trap down towards bottom lane, but they have no Doom for another 20 seconds, so I don't think they could actually get anyone unless they find, you know, someone randomly with a cask or something like that, or a swap back. That's good too. Into the death ward. AA is gonna get blown up. Throws a seal before he dies, but he will be going down, forcing double TPs, which will also result into nothing. That's a nice clean pick off from the Team Malaysia side. They're gonna start tightening up the screws, and they also have a 4-staff being picked up by the Vengeful Spirit and a sheep stick on the Invoker. It's a big ticket item, and that's the Hand of Midas going to work right there.
Yeah, the Hand of Midas. I mean, also the fact that the Invoker, what is like looking at levels, like he's much above most of the, like he's doing really well in that sense, even though he's been killed. I mean, he's not been constantly in team fights. He's been kind of like split pushing all the time, just because of the Hand of Midas. Like it's really good. Like those Hand of Midas really are preparing them for the late game, and now we're in a position where the Doom also is going for Aghanims. He's really close to it as well. He's only missing 1,900 gold. And once he gets the Aghanims, I think things are going to turn around. Because you're going to have an Ember Spirit that's going to be doomed, almost certainly, hopefully at least. And he's not going to be able to come back into the team fight at all. Because then he'll die.
You could Doom pretty much anyone else. I'm pretty sure Blur gets turned off by an Aghanim Doom, but they're going to jump for mid lane. Mystic Flare going to be thrown in the way of the Invoker. Turns around for a Hex, but now he's got to get chained, so he takes the full brunt of that Flare, and he will be going down. Invoker just feeling a little bit too comfortable. This is pretty much the name of the game. The players are just feeling way too comfortable about the situation they're in, and they're constantly getting punished because of it. If they just start, if everyone's just a little bit more scared in this game, they would both be playing so much better.
Yeah, actually, they need to play, especially the Team Malaysia, which is relying on the late game. Like the only thing they're doing is amplifying the ability for Genysis to take this game if they keep dying. Because if they just kind of stay passively and farm passively, they should be able to win regardless, just because of the team composition, the item choices. So I don't know. Hopefully Team Malaysia can realize this, I guess, and they start playing to their draft and their strategy rather than this.
And this move from them, smoking up with 3 heroes, is something that's perfectly fine, though they do have that late game advantage. When you have a Doom, you probably should want to use the Doom, and they also have a Death Ward, so whoever they're going to run into, not going to be in for a fun time, but it looks like the heroes that they're going to run into, they're all in the top lane, so they're not going to be in any trouble. Ohio just doing this, like, I think this is the problem right here. He's feeling really comfortable. Yeah, he has a Blink Dagger, but there's an Ember Spear on the other end, so, like, this play, farming this far away from any sort of support, is the type of play that's going to get you killed, and it's going to let Genysis get more and more back into this game, if not ahead. Well, they're slightly behind in this game, but not by too much, so yeah, they have to really be careful about where they farm. There's no sense putting yourself at risk to get small amounts of farm, because you have a Hand of Midas ticking.
Yeah, and he got an Aghanims though with a small amount of farm, so I guess maybe that's what he was going for. He couldn't wait for it. This is going to be quite a pickup though. This Aghanims on Doom is one of the best pickups as well, in terms of Aghanims. So And I could actually work towards that Shiva's Guard and whatnot, so that would be actually quite good because it would slow the Ember Spirit considerably, even despite the Bloodlust. Now they're going to go mid and actually going to go on the poor Andy, who's going to die, just playing into that Scorched Earth and that Burn Charge.
He got swapped back in the fade time of Invis, and then the Sentry dropped, and then he was just pretty much screwed from there. Though the Sunstrike did miss, there's just way too much damage for only an L-Titan to withstand. L-Titan, though, level 11, Hannah Midas on him is very close to his Yule Scepter. Isn't doing too terribly for himself, but if you get picked off like that, then Natural Order is not going to be relevant, obviously. So it's bad times for him, but it's bad times for the mid lane as Team Malaysia, they're going to try to go for it, but it's going to be Baymax walking into the wrong neighborhood. Gets Mystic Flare, and he's going to be going down, but it will not be for free because Nana is doomed, time walked upon, and the Ember Spirit will be the trade. Still a trade that Team Malaysia are going to be more than willing to take. Their pushing power, it's 100% with this Invoker, and Invoker isn't here. So it looks like they're instead going to go for this triple stack creep camp, which is also a pretty good way to go. Phantom Assassin's going to be pretty bummed out about that one. And after taking this, though it's going to rough up Ohio a little bit, maybe they're going to look for a Roshan afterwards.
Yeah, I mean they could, and that's gonna not only is this giving Team Malaysia extra farm, it's also taking a lot of farm away from this possible PA, who's already under farm. I mean he's going for the BKB, he's gonna have it relatively soon, but still, I don't know. At this point in the game, the BKB, like you said, is not gonna be that effective, especially with the Chronos just gonna ignore it completely. So I don't know what the PA will do once the Void hits hard enough, since he can't miss within the Chrono, even with the blur or whatnot. That's going to be an issue for the PA. He's going to just be disintegrated by the Void.
And the BKB isn't going to help her against Void, Doom, or the Witch Doctor, or Swap, I guess, that might be relevant and helping to get some distance or something like that. But either way, it's still going to be Team Malaysia with a decent grip on this game. And the fact that they're even in kills is really bad for Genysis because they're up against so many hands Midas. Genysis have to be ahead right now. They have to be taking all the towers. They've only taken one tower this game, and to be fair, they don't have the best pushing heroes. Their pushing is actually really bad, but they need to be taking a lot better than they're doing right now because Nana is going to get jumped over towards mid in 1 second. Doom is up, and if Nana gets tagged by this one, he has quite a bit of backup, but I don't think it's going to be enough backup because he's in quite a bit of trouble. Instantly Hex. They don't even need Doom, but they're going to use it anyway and drop a rock on him. Now the Chronosphere only onto the poor Scarith Mage, but he's going to go down anyway. Multicast onto Ohio as KKK chasing forward for the Ogre will decide to rejoin his team. Not the best ultimates being used from Team Malaysia, but if it will let them take this tower, then that's perfectly fine. They're going to do what they can, Genysis, to slow them down with the Spirit, with the Stomp, but this tower is forfeit. Maybe they're going to get... No, there's nothing on top lane for them to get either, so it's just a free tower and a couple free kills.
Yeah, that's possibly one of the best engagements that Team Malaysia can get right now. Like 2-0, perfectly fine. They also have the Witch Doctor ult still available, and the swap is still there, so there's that as well. So, the Chrono will be up eventually. I don't think they required it that much to fight regardless. I think they've been doing well without it as well. So, because, Void has not been landing the best Chronos. And this Roshan is going to go easily towards the Void of the Doom, I hope. Or Invoker, actually. Yeah.
Invoker with Aegis is pretty darn scary. He will be now guaranteed a usage of the Sheepstick in the fight, but it's over towards bottom lane where Ohio's once again going to take a multicast straight to the face. Mystic Flare still being held for now. Blink forward for the Hex onto Vexus and then disengage. Sure, that's fine, I guess. If everyone leaves, then it's like you didn't even do anything. Dagger onto ET, though, and it looks like Genysis want to fight this one. Here comes the PA, but gets Deafening Blast Meteor. Will pop the BKB, and Phantom Assassin will kill off the Vengeful Spear, I think with cleave damage. Then onto the Evoker they go. He's going to take him out as well. Faces Void off to the side. Doesn't really want to jump in with no Chronosphere. That's just one kill and an Aegis pick off for Genysis. Pretty nicely done there. Phantom Assassin's damage at level 18 is pretty darn high. And if you don't sheep her up or lock her down without BKB with a Doom or Chronosphere or something, then she's just going to be walking all over you. So Team Malaysia definitely have to respect that moving forward. Maybe it was just because of that weird initiation on the Ogre. I think that's probably what led to that situation. Throwing the Sheepstick away is never a good thing to do.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. But at least it was not the worst of results for them. So, like, it could have been much worse. So I think they should be happy with that engagement because they got away fine. And again, Avenge. It's just that. Who's also going for Pipe, by the way. Just want to point out. I think that's going to be quite a pickup with the Ogre Magi, especially who has single target damage. The Pipe is going to destroy him completely. So right now, I think Team Malaysia is still pretty strong. Oh, actually, Doom. Never mind. Going for Refresher. Look at that.
Right,
what do you think of this pickup?
The only thing better than Doom is 2 Dooms, right? So Might as well go for that one. It would be nice for Team Malaysia to get some armor up at this point. They have no armor at all, so that's not a good thing to have happening up against an Elder Titan. Assault Cuirass, a Vlad's, just having a Basilius. These small things could give them a lot of survivability, especially since Ember Spirit and Phantom Assassin are starting to build up some serious DPS with Battle Furies. So it's
Honestly,
going to eventually be a necessity for Team Malaysia to get those items.
yeah, I think Yeshivas should be like something Doom should definitely be considering right now. Just because it slows down the attack, it gives him some armor because he needs a lot of armor, and more importantly, like the Ember Spirit with the Bloodlust and whatnot, it would just kind of nullify the effect of the Bloodlust almost completely. So I would definitely consider it. Now they're gonna go actually on Anana, who's been he's gonna actually mess up with that Spirits, but the Force Staff trying to catch him, not enough. He needs that blink up. He doesn't have it just yet. He's not gonna pursue it anymore. Nana's actually gonna get out alive.
Sunstrike?
Well, that's pretty good.
Oh, he invoked up a Sunstrike, but he didn't even cast it. That's kind of disappointing. But yeah, just falling short at killing that Ember Spirit. He dropped the entire combination on him. In the meantime, the rest of the Genysis heroes are up on top lane, taking that tier 2 tower down. And Team Malaysia, they're over towards bottom lane, pretty much doing nothing. They're going to maybe look for a fight right now. Faceless Void is in the area and could do some serious hurt to the Genysis side, but they're not going to find their opening. So Genysis, they get away with their Ember Spirit, albeit barely. They still get a decent tower pickup, and those types of plays should be what Genysis need to do in order to come back into this game. And going for KK, that's also pretty darn good. He's going to get Mystic Flare silenced as well. He's going to pop the BKB and then Time Walk out. Chronosphere turnaround onto 343. He has no backup here. There is a Sunstrike landing on the Phantom Assassin with the Hex as well. That should be enough to kill off the PA. Now Doom is in the area looking for a target, though I don't even think it's necessary to throw his ultimate onto Vexus. Swap back into AA. They're going to get 2 kills, in fact, off of this one. And the Void, well, surprising the Genysis side with the BKB, turning things around in a big way.
Yeah, that was actually a huge turnaround kill, being able to kill the PA. But she's dealing with buyback. Now they should be able to capitalize this into a tower. And, I mean, that's a little extra gold going for Team Malaysia. This is probably going to allow Doom to get... Actually, no, Doom already has his refresher. Yeah, no. Almost there.
Radiant's bottom tower.
He just needs a mask, right? And
yeah, he's only a mask away. So I guess the courier is going to the side shop to get the mask. Wow. That's actually really good. That's going to be a refresher already on this Doom, and that's insane. Now they're going to be able to have 2 Dooms in the next team fight, so they should be able to even maybe take the tier 3. In fact, it's a possibility. No, never mind. That's only if they decide to go for the tower.
If they had a Chronosphere, then it'll certainly be capable of taking a massive team fight that snowballs into a tier 3, but I think Genysis, unless they lose a team fight, they're going to be more than willing to defend that. So certainly it is a devastating item pickup for the Doom, and Genysis, they are not going to know about this still. I believe it's hidden, but I don't even know if you could play around that much. Maybe you silence the Doom and try to ignore him, much like how you deal with a Tidehunter, but odds are he's going to be getting 1 Doom off at the very least in those fights before he gets silenced. So Genysis is going to have to pay the Doom a lot of respect. The rest of Team Malaysia being very, very sneaky right now, trying to wait for some poor bastard to come up towards top, but it's going to be Nana to be that poor bastard. He's going to get snapped up. No Sheepstick, or there was a Sheepstick, but it didn't actually do anything. So the Ember Spirit is once again going to be able to escape the clutches of the Invoker, but using all his spirits in the process. In the meantime, the rest of Team Malaysia, they're now going to just straight push the top lane. And I think they could actually get away with straight pushing just in general. If they rejoin everyone into this fight, they have double Doom, they have a Chronosphere, they have a Sheepstick available, they're just going to go for it.
Unless they actually find him in a bad position. That's the only issue. They need the Invoker and they need that Witch Doctor there. Otherwise, they really can't engage that well. Now, Genysis is taking advantage of this position they're in right now. They're going to go on Ohio. They're going to use every single skill on him, trying to kill him off before he can pop out any Dooms. But the Chrono comes out and 343 taking a little bit of damage from this Void. Wow, really, really unfortunate. ET now almost dying. There it is. Void, next one to die. He just got his MKB right after the Chrono. That's really unfortunate. And now it seems like the only guys left are actually Witch Doctor and Invoker, just kind of running away.
And they're the only ones left because they weren't actually in that fight. Baymax is even going to get tagged with the concussive, now chained to the floor, silenced as well. He's going to be going down. That was 2 fights there from Team Malaysia. There was like a 1v5 and then there was a 2v5, and that's never good odds for the side with fewer players. If Team Malaysia were all there, that would have been so completely different. They would have been able to bail the Doom out immediately with the swap. He would have been just fine. They got him out eventually, but by the time they actually landed that skill, Doom was already dead, or at least burning and dying, so that's not good. The Invoker didn't do anything there. The Witch Doctor didn't do anything there. and Team Malaysia is just feeling way too comfortable in their ability to take fights. They didn't expect, I guess, to get scouted out there, but you know there's an Elder Titan on the other end. That shouldn't really be a surprise for Team Malaysia.
It's kind of smart, sorry. It's kind of smart on Genysis' side, though, to be able to scout them out so quickly, play so aggressively, and kind of play on the fact that Team Malaysia is playing a little cockily. So I like it. I like what Genysis is doing, honestly. I think kudos to them as well. And honestly, now that the Void has the MKB, things might change. Because now, the issue was that in the Chrono, he could have killed the PA, but he couldn't because he wasn't hitting a single hit. Like, that's insane. But now that he has the MKB, that's not going to be the case. And this Void should be able to disintegrate the PA without much of an issue.
Yeah, that being said, PA also has a BKB Basher on her person as well, so if things are turned around, if there's no Chronosphere that's landing on PA, she could easily kill off the Void, and Ember Spirit is also getting pretty darn big as well. He has a Lincoln Sphere, and he has now a crit on himself, so Lincoln Sphere is saving him from the Invoker spells, or at least the Sheep Stick, which is the only one that really matters, or the one that matters the most, at least. So nice pickups from the Genysis side. They're farming very, very rapidly right now, and right now, though Team Malaysia still have an advantage in gold, the experience is slowly starting to tailor down towards the Genysis side, especially after that last team fight. With a 2,000 lead in EXP, an 8,000-ish lead in gold. Team Malaysia, they have to just make sure that they take better fights, and they're going to smoke up and look for a pick-off right now. Andy is in the area, will be spotted, but there's no initiation here just yet unless he goes into them. Yeah, that's going to be an easy kill. No Chronosphere needed. Andy is 100% screwed. Level death to steal the kill once again from Ohio. The rest of the Genysis team, though, they're going to be pushing down bottom lane. They're going to force TPs back from the Doom, and he will be spotted out immediately. He has an opportunity for a Doom right now, but he has to pop a Lincoln Sphere first. Will do so, but he's taking way too much damage. He will be going down before casting anything. Now KK is going to rejoin the fight, but he's also silenced, going to wait for the BKB turnaround. There it is. Onto 343 he goes. With a little bit of help from ET, he will maybe be able to get this PA kill, and yes, it will be down. Here comes the Ember Spirit, though. The rest of the Team Malaysia side, where are they? ET is going to get double multicasted, actually 6 Fire Blasts on him, as KK doesn't want to fight this anymore. Where the hell are Team Malaysia? They're walking back? They have no TPs? Really? Okay, well, that's going to be a one-team fight by Genysis, and they'll probably take a tower as well.
I mean, it was actually a 2-for-2 still, which is quite impressive by Team Malaysia, but I don't know why they would ever do that. Send them one by one, not even send the, like, I don't get that. Now they're going to find Invoker, now they're going to go on him. He's completely silenced, there's nothing he can really do here. Trying to pop the Shivas, though, to kill Vexus, and Vex is going to be the one that's in trouble now. Nana actually killing the Witch Doctor, though. Invoker managing to get away, but Nana, being stun locked here. He can't do much. He has the Maledict on him as well. He's going to take a considerable amount of damage, but he's going to kill the Invoker first. Now it's going to be this Faceless Void fighting him. Can he kill him off? He has the Mask of Madness. He should be able to. There is a no. He just okay. Never mind. There is that Ember Spirit. This guy disappeared from my screen completely. And the only guy left is this Skyth Mage, and Void does not see him. So, well, that was not a bad turnaround for the guys at Team Malaysia.
Yeah, but really they shouldn't have even needed to turn things around in the first place. The Doom Refresher has so far been doing absolutely nothing for him. He's been locked down, silenced every single time, and he hasn't been able to get his ultimate off. He almost got a Doom off on the Ember Spirit, but then he realized that there's a Lincoln Sphere, so he had to cancel that, then use level death, and by that time Ember Spirit was already gone. KKK does get quite a few kills by the end of said engagement, but still for the Team Malaysia side, they have to really not do this. What Ohio's doing is a bad idea. He's going to be jumping out of there, and he will dodge the dagger, and it looks like the Elder Titan is going to be fine, if not denied. And it looks like he has no evasion, so chop down, denied the Elder Titan. Pretty easily done by the Genysis side. But Ohio, I guess, really just antsy to use a Doom, and he was all alone. That was not going to result into a kill. Though I guess it bought space, and it did kill off the Elder Titan in the end. That means that they go for Roshan, which is also pretty good.
I mean, that's what they were looking for. The Elder Titan has a really good initiation on the Roshan, so maybe that's... But, like, considering how low Roshan is already, that wouldn't have mattered much. So I don't know why he used that Doom there. Especially because he used the Refresher right after that Doom, which I don't completely agree. The cooldown Refresher is much bigger than the cooldown Doom, I guess, just to have it prepared. Oh well. That said, now it seems like Team Malaysia is finally playing as a team. Ha! And they should be able to take this tower quite easily, and now that the Void has DD, I don't think they wanna. I don't think the guys at Genysis want to face these guys.
So right now, Team Malaysia, they should all go their own way, split up, because that'll be really safe, and that's what they've been doing all the time. But no, seriously, like they should be sticking together for the most part in this game. They have all their ultimates up. They only have one Doom right now, which is kind of unfortunate, but they really don't need the double Doom, though they would like it. It's a luxury at this point, not a necessity. they're going to take a tour of the enemy side of the map to try to get a little bit of map control going. And Genysis right now, they're all bottled up within their own base. Still, Team Malaysia have had these Hands of Midas working overtime. There's almost 5,000 gold onto KYXY. Ohio has 1,800 gold after purchasing the refresher. I think you go for an armor item here, but who knows, I would have gotten an armor item already. Invoker is packing a Shivas on himself, so he's pretty durable versus the Elder Titan as well. But there's a Daedalus on the Ember Spirit, and Ember Spirit, if he's not going to get doomed, he's just going to run a train over the Team Malaysia side, as he has been doing for the past couple of fights. A full fight is going to break out, though, and there is still no double doom. Vexus is leading the way, looking for someone to Fire Blast. Ohio right around the corner, though. Perfect positioning for dispelling a smoke. If not for the smoke just randomly running out anyway. It's going to be Nanas to jump in forward first. And he's going to get hexed up and Chronosphere. This Ember Spirit is not going to stand a chance. Vexus is also here, but he has to get the hell out immediately. I think it's even too late. They're going to chase forward looking for more. Swap back onto Andy. And now Andy is going to be in a lot of trouble as well. He's going to be not chased down just yet. Deafening Blast is there. And Venge actually with the wave is going to get the kill. That is not the team fight that Genysis were looking for. Initiation power, not exactly on their side when you're going up against a Sheepstick on Invoker and a Faceless Void and a Blinking Doom. Genysis, they just had a terrible angle there.
That's great, though, because they have a Doom, which has a Doom Refresher now, so that's going to be insanely strong. They have a Void, which, no Chrono, but he's going to get it in soon enough, actually. And they still have the Witch Doctor Ultimate, so right now, it's Team Malaysia's time. Like, they can do this very well. There's no buyback to Genysis team. The only guy that can do something right now is PA, and what he's doing is split pushing, trying to apply some pressure, but he's not going to do it in time. Like, by the time that he comes back, says to come back, they can take the throne.
Well, they're
so
going to go.
At all.
Yeah, they're going to go to the mid lane first because the creep wave is conveniently pushed out very, very far. PA can't do anything right now for another 20 seconds. She needs Ember Spirit backup, but that's 2 Raxes now in favor of Team Malaysia. And are they tanky enough? Are they bold enough to go for a third? It looks like they're thinking about it. They're going to not do it. They're going to back off and defend their base. But 2 Raxes down, and Genysis, they're going to be at full strength in just 3 seconds. It's going to be a clean retreat for all of the Team Malaysia heroes. The split pushing of the Phantom Assassin not really helping out Genysis that much. I guess farm for the Phantom Assassin is always going to be nice, but they now only have 1 set of Raxes remaining. And still, Team Malaysia, they have all their big ultimates up, and they're going to be more than willing to just go for it. They still also have the Aegis on Doom.
Just want to point out, by the way, Void is a refresher.
That's actually pretty sweet. Like, if you're dealing with an Ember Spirit, then you just chrono him and you don't have to worry about it. Usually the Refresher Orb is after the Aghanim Scepter, but yeah. I think he's doing enough damage right now, or his team is doing enough damage right now, that they just need to lock the enemy heroes down. If they do that, they'll probably win the fight.
Alright, fair enough. Interesting. I actually like the Aghanim much more than the Refresh, just because the cooldown. But like you said, if they can lock down the PA and the Ember Spirit, I guess that's the big thing. The Ember Spirit is really the big damage dealer, but the PA too. If they can't get a Doom off on the Ember Spirit, something on a sword, yeah, I guess it's a good viable option. It's the refresher team for now. I think it's the maximum number of refreshers I've ever seen in a team, like 2. Yeah. On 2 cores.
You're not going to see many more, but also like the refresher, since Team Malaysia already 2 Axes up, going for the Aghanims for the reduced cooldown is kind of pointless since they're going to look to end the game right now. So this is like the final push of power for them. And speaking of final push of power, they also have an Aghanim Scepter to join it and a BKB on the Doom. So, yeah, the Refresher Orb is probably only going to be used once, unless Genysis have some miraculous hold right now. A double Chronosphere is going to be backbreaking, and they're just going to slow push the bottom lane until they find an opening for a Blink level Death Doom onto Nana. Initiating into the base is going to be a lot more difficult. There's the Blink in, no Doom just yet. He's going to throw one of them towards Vexus. Ohio's going to refresh for an additional BKB charge. This is the sloppiest initiation of all time, but they get the Doom onto 343, plus the Chronosphere onto 2. Ohio's caught in there as well, but it's too late for the Phantom Assassin. Already going to call GG before she even dies. Now the second Chronosphere onto Nana. Death Ward is going to be doing nothing to the Ember Spirit, but it doesn't matter because the 2 dangerous heroes are down. Now swap back onto Annie, but it doesn't matter. That's GG. Genysis, they put up a much better fight. Like, I don't think anyone's going to deny that. That game was actually possible for Genysis, but in the end, Team Malaysia is Team Malaysia. They're pretty darn good.
I want to commend Genysis. They did a good job. I'm pretty proud of them. It's a pity that Team Malaysia is just so good.
Yeah, so guys, that's going to be it. Steelseries Malaysia Cup number 8. Going to end with Team Malaysia or it says Genysis twice on my screen. I don't know if it does on
Yeah,
yours,
me
but
too.
it's going to end with Team Malaysia taking it 2-0 over Genysis. First game rather stompy. This game definitely a lot closer, but we are actually going to be done for now here on HeflaTV 2. HeflaTV 1 might have just finished, or it might be tied. No, it's actually tied. Okay, good. So HeflaTV 1 is still going, so go over there to see the Balkan Bears go up against Team DD. Should be a pretty good game, game 3. So I'm going to host over to there. If you enjoy the cast, be sure to follow the channels, HeflaTV 2 and 1. We're on HeflaTV 2 right now. I'm Mike Loris. I've been joined by D-Sword for this best of 3. You can find me at Mike Loris. You can find D-Sword at D-Swordfish, right?
Yep.
All right, so that's where you can find us. Also, HeflaTV on Twitter and Facebook. That's about it, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. GG.